Hello students, welcome back to your science class. In the previous sections of your videos, we were discussing about our chapter number 9, living organisms, characteristics and habitats, and we have studied up to the topic mountain habitats. For in the today's video, we will discuss our topic polar region. Polar regions are very cold. Polar bears live in polar regions. They adapt themselves to live in a cold habitat. Means polar bears are those animals which are adapted to the colder areas. Penguins survive in polar regions due to presence of waterproof feathers and a thick layer of fat. Means the waterproof feathers and the thick layer of fat is useful for the polar bears to adapt the colder areas. Under the skin that regulates their body temperature, they stay together in groups to keep them warm. Means polar bears live in the polar regions, which is a colder area, and the thick layer of fat and waterproof feathers help them to survive under the polar regions. Now we have forest and grassland habitats. Grasslands and dry and windy. Grasslands are dry and windy. They get moderate rains, means neither high nor low. Adaptations in plants. Grasses growing in these habitats have flexible stalks that do not bend or break down in wind. Means due to the flexibility of the stalks, they do not bend or break in wind. They have strong roots that hold the soil firmly. Means due to the presence of strong roots, they hold the soil firmly. Now, adaptations in animals. Carnivorous animals. What were the carnivorous animals? They were the flesh-eating animals. Like lions and tigers live in forest. They get their body food by killing animals like deer. I have already told you that carnivores are those animals which feed on the flesh of other animals. Have the following adaptations to survive in a forest. They have eyes in front that help them see their prey. Their eyesight is very sharp so that they can see their prey. They have sharp teeth and long claws in their front legs to catch and tear the flesh of their prey. Means their strong hands or their strong claws help them to catch their prey. Their light brown color helps them hide in dry grasslands. Means under light brown color they won't be able they won't be visible to other animals when they hunt for their prey. They are able to run very fast, because of which they can catch their prey easily. Now deer, in figure 9.27b part, you can see the picture of a deer. Have the following adaptations to escape from predators like lions and tigers. They have eyes on the sides of the head that give them a wide range of vision. Means deers have a wide range of vision because of the presence of eyes on the sides of the head. They have long ears to hear the movement of predators. Means they are very much sensible to the vibrations that caused around their surroundings. They can run very easily to save themselves from predators. Means their running speed is very high. Now our next topic is aquatic habitats. Aquatic means water. Aqua means water. So aquatic habitat means the organisms like sharks, fish and lotus plants that live in lakes, ponds, rivers and oceans are called aquatic organisms. Means those organisms which live in water are known as aquatic organisms, and their habitats are called aquatic habitats. First one is ocean or marine habitat. Ocean is a huge body of salt water. Means oceans consist of salty water. Fish live in water bodies and show the following adaptations. Adaptation in a fish: gills extract oxygen dissolved in water. Now fish respires through gills, means the respiratory organ in the fishes are lungs. Their body is streamlined. The streamlined shape of the body helps the fish to swim fast. Streamlined means, as in case of birds and aeroplanes, they also have their streamlined body, so that the shape of body helps the fish to swim fast. The skin is covered with waterproof scales that protect it from decaying in water, means the waterproof scales protect them from decaying in water. Fish have gills that help them breathe in water, means I have already told you that the respiratory organ in fish is gills. Fish swim with the help of fins. Some aquatic animals such as dolphins and whales do not have gills. They breathe through lungs, means they have lungs in their body. They inhale air through nostrils. Nostrils are the openings of the nose, means the holes of the nose are known as nostrils, present in the upper part of their head. Nostrils allow them to breathe in the air when they swim near the surface of water. Now they can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing, means they could survive without even breathing under the water. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air, means they come on the surface to breathe in air, to get the air. Some sea animals like squid and octopus do not have streamlined body. You have seen us octopus, it is not of streamlined body. They stay near the seabed deeper in the oceans to avoid resistance offered by the sea waves, because the sea waves are highly occur in the speed, so they won't be able to resist. They would be able to resist offered by the sea waves. However, when these animals move in water, they make their body streamlined. When octopus and squid move in water, they make their body streamlined. These animals have gills to use the oxygen dissolved in water, means octopuses and squid have gills to use the oxygen dissolved in water. Now we have ponds and lakes. Freshwater habitat. Freshwater means the water which does not contain salinity or salt conditions. A pond or lake is a smaller freshwater body as compared to the sea or the ocean. A large variety of aquatic plants grow in ponds, lakes and rivers. Two common types of aquatic plants are floating. Floating means which float on the surface of the water, and submerged plants. Submerging means which grow on the or which live in the inside the water. Floating plants. These plants float freely on water, for example, water hyacinth. Some aquatic plants like lotus and water lily have their roots fixed in the soil below the water, means they have lotus and water lily have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. These roots are much reduced in size, means that these types of roots are very much smaller in size, and their main function is to hold the plant in place, means they have the holding capacity. The stems are long, hollow and light, means light. Why so? Because they have to float on the surface of the water. The leaves are covered with a waxy coating that makes them waterproof, means the leaves are waterproof, the stems are long and the roots are reduced in size. Now we have submerged plants. These plants remain completely submerged in water, means they are highly deep down under the water. For example, Hydrilla and Vallisneria. In submerged plants such as Hydrilla and Vallisneria, the leaves are thin, ribbon like and highly divided means leaves are of various thin coatings. Ribbon like and highly divided means there is a occurring of divisions in the leaves. Such leaves allow water currents to pass through them without damaging the leaves. Means division is for to allow the water currents. Adaptations in frogs. Frogs usually live in ponds. They can stay inside the pond water and also move on land. Means frogs are terrestrial as well as aquatic animal. They have the following adaptations. They have webbed feet. You can see the web means each and every finger of the frog is joined to one another that help them swim in water. They have long and strong back legs. You can see that help in hopping on the land or for catching their prey. Now we have acclimatization. Have you ever visited any hill station or high mountain region? If yes, you might have experienced difficulty in breathing. Means when we go on altitude areas or on hilly stations, we won't be able to respire easily because there is less availability of air on that place, and doing physical exercises for a few days. But after a days, your body gets adjusted to the condition. Contains the change that takes place in the body of an organism to adjust in the surroundings are called acclimatization. Means the changes that takes place in the body of an organism to adjust in the surroundings is known as acclimatization. Acclimatization is different from adaptation. Adaptation refers to the changes that takes place over a long time period, but acclimatization refers to changes in organism that takes place over a short period of time. So this was all for this video. We have completed our chapter. Thank you.